Hi, Carol here. Another warm welcome to my craft room. Although it's -3 and snowing here where I am, and I just got home and really glad to be in the house. So here we are, we're finishing up the album finally. I got the completion of it finished the last 2 weeks and working on it every day just to add little details. And around this portion of this page, I decided to use diamond bling. I mean, you can't go wrong when you're dealing with a wedding album, can you? To add a lot of bling, a lot of diamonds, and it just seemed to work for me. And a lot of little things I had to change up, and I will show you that. We're going to do a quick walkthrough at the end. Well, maybe not so quick. I don't think I've ever done anything quick, have I? And I just thought this really did add something to the black, and that way you couldn't see the glue that was in between this beautiful lace at all. I knew something had to go there, so I figured diamonds. Why not, right? Now, this, I think, is the actual first page. If you look to the left right there, you'll see the heart with the pink bows. That's the waterfall portion. And I will leave a link to the entire videos. I think there's only 3 of them, that's from beginning to end, and completing this. Now, I had this bow off of a wedding gown, and I wanted to incorporate it somehow into this album. And I thought, well, this would be nice to tuck memorabilia or pictures or something in here. But as I got working on the album and trying to figure out the depth that I would need, because you are going to add pictures, I had to keep that in my mind, or it would have been so thick you wouldn't have one picture you'd be able to put in there. But I ended up taking that bow out, and I'll show you what I do with it at the end. Now, this I had to cut off. It was way too thick to be incorporated into one page. And the funny thing is, when there isn't a way you can turn it to be able to get that shaker part to come out the way that I had created it to be. I wanted that to pull entirely out, so you could use that for a picture right there as you're looking at it to the right. And then I have to deal with covering the front and the back and actually creating something to fasten it together. So as you'll see, I'm going to cut off this lace and use the top and bottom portions of it to go around this waterfall card. Now, this has kind of a tea time theme. On the end page, that's where I drew the roses onto the teacup. And I apologize for shading here. I was working at night and forgot to turn all the lights on over the island here where I was working. And yeah, so it ends up to be just a little darker than I would have liked, but I couldn't redo it because the album's already finished. Yes, so I put something on the back of that, and we are going to add the art glitter glue, and I think I end up putting hot glue too. It's been a few days since I went back because I've done another project for you that I'm going to put up on YouTube after this. So here I'm just wanting to put it down with baby wipe. And yeah, you want to work with some sharp scissors when you're working with lace. And I should have gotten out my Ginger scissors that I use for, trying to use for only fabric. Yeah, let's say that right. So I've gone around it, and then we're going to seat it. Many things on there I had to change up each page because I had these empty pages to fill. I did have the creation end of it all done. I just didn't have the placement of all of it finished. So yeah, my iPad's going. I don't know what on earth is on there, but it I apologize for it. It sure does make you, it has to be some kind, I think it was a cowboy. No, I don't even know what that, oh, that was Jungle Book. I was watching Jungle Book while I was creating this. I just saw the little feller in the lower left corner. I'm going, whoa, who is that? Yeah, it's Jungle Book. I decided to watch Jungle Book. So here we go. I'm going to use this. I put double-sided 1/16 of an inch tape on this, and just for stability, and then I will put the art glitter glue or some kind of glue you have. It doesn't have to be this art glitter glue. Anything that has a good sticker on it will be fantastic. So let's complete this page. You know, I really did want to incorporate quite a bit of lace. I think this must have been the page that I ripped up the bow on. I don't know, or maybe I got glue on there. Oh my, when you're doing an album like this, who knows if you ripped it, you spilled something on it. Yeah, I can't give all my secrets out of what I cover up, right? But this was so enjoyable. I really did enjoy this. And yeah, so here we go. And as you can tell, I have a really bad flu bug that has been bothering me for a few weeks. And I had laryngitis and all kinds of terribleness going on with it. Isn't this pretty? I love when you open that page up. Oh no, I haven't torn this out yet, this bow, but I'm going to. Yeah, that's going to go for sure. And you know, I haven't made many albums, so with this one, it was learning as I went. Now, I put five 6x6, I think they are, 5.5 by 6 maybe, pull-out tabs, and I used this cardboard. Now this cardboard is the cardboard you get when you're going to send off a card and you want the stability in your envelope, you know, to cover the front and the back of the card. So that's why I used this, and then I put black over top of it. That way it was just not paper on paper. I had the you know, it wasn't too thick of a cardboard, probably the consistency of a cereal box cardboard. You get them in a pack of 50, I think. And yeah, I'll try to leave the link for you. I got these at Beatty's stationery store. So here we go. We're going to cut all these down, and I'm going to use, of course, my Xyron. I'm going to run it through because that's the quickest way to put front and backs onto you know, a piece of cardboard. It's the quickest way for me then to use double-sided tape. And yeah, here comes the Granddaddy Xyron. Love these. Now, I am going to do a Xyron video, and I'm going to show you some of the Xyron products you may not know are out there, and I want to show you, you know, how they work and the new items that are out by Xyron. Now I have, I love using this 9-inch, and then there's the 5-inch, and I'm not even going to share some of them till I get the video up. Now here I'm using this iron, but you have to be so careful you don't overlap, and I did here. I got too pushy and I pushed it through quicker than I anticipated, and it ended up overlapping, but that's okay. Double-sided runner will fix that when I go to get it out. And then I thought, Carol, you know, the funny thing is, my friends, I was thinking of saving, you know, like probably a 1/2 inch on, excuse me, on these. And I thought, are you kidding me? No way am I going to try to do all the mathematical equations to save 1/4 inch. So I just ran each page through, and I didn't lose that much. The Xyron, if you're making albums, is a lovely way to go. And when you get the sales, it's fantastic to buy the cartridges that go in them. I'm using this tab punch by Stampin' Up, and I'm punching out some tabs for the top portion of these actual pullouts, 5 of the pullouts. So you get 10 pictures, and you'll see that. I'll show you how I do it there. I made in the album, I went back and I put another sheet of paper in so that I could have these picture frames to pull out, and you would be able to get 5x6 pictures inside. I'm pretty sure it's a 6x6 album. So yeah, these ones were just to pull out. Now, I've had questions on this piece of foam. It is made by the same person that made the, let me just check here, made by the Tool-in-One, and it's Cindy, I think it's, oh, I can't even tell you. I'll leave a link. It's the Tool-in-One foam. And what it does is when you use the Tool-in-One, when you're going across, it doesn't fall off this thing very much, you know, unless you push it off yourself. And then you can put this sideways, and those pieces, parts, the guts there, will not fall all over the place. Not until you tap the back of it does it fall in the garbage. So it's just a wonderful tool. And I suggest you do one at a time. See how quick that is? I just went boop into the garbage, and there you go. And I sat down for a few hours and I did a lot of cutouts, a lot of cutting, a lot of die cutting so that I could just grab some of them, because you know as well as I do, when you're not feeling well, you don't want to keep stopping to die cut or whatever. And oh yes, look at that. Ooh, yeah. Beautiful silk ribbon. It's gorgeous, isn't it? That's a Hobby Lobby. I got that some years ago. And I decided I had to cover up the satin. These satin pieces were made with, I'm pretty sure in the last tutorial I showed you how I made that, so I won't go on and on about the satin cover. I made the satin back of the spine, so that 2 inches on each side folded over on the one piece, and then you had the front and back piece with the satin covering it. And yes, you can see some pull marks there to the left on the bottom, but you will not see it when I'm done. I tried to pull it as tight as I could to get a nice, you know, a nice seam looking on the edges, a nice seam look. I can't even think. So anywho, yes, I was out. There it is. There's the tabs already put on it. And I like to add my page protectors. I buy page protectors. They're thicker than normal acetate. And I get them at the stationery store. You get 100 or 500 to a box. And they're nice and thick. And I love them. I just love them. And so I'm going to put one in the front, one in the back to protect the pictures that the person that gets this album will put their wedding photos inside here. And then I'll use some corners, some real pretty gold and pink corners to slide the pictures under. And you know, you just have to keep talking. If you can't remember what anything's called when you're doing a voiceover, just talk over it. Yeah, I think they're corner edge thingies. That's what they're called, corner edge thingies. And I put them on. I got a majority. They're white and gold up there. At the top, you can see them. They're from the dollar store. You know my dollar store, nothing's a dollar. I get them there. And then I actually have a die that makes the corners. And I did pink ones. And here I'm making sure that I wipe down after cutting a lot of black cardstock, or else whatever you're using, it will, I guarantee you, have black on the blade. And I'm trying to get my blade in there. I don't want to see that or waste any of the page protector acetate pages. Yes, they're good buy, but still, you know, I keep everything on these because they make fabulous shakers with these. So I'm just grabbing one. And a reminder that when you buy these page protectors, 2 of the corner edges are rounded. So you have to watch for that if you want to have all straight edges, or else use your corner punch to put the rounded edge on the other corners. So here we go. You want to remember to add these first and then measure out your, this one I had to take off. I'm jumping all over, but they're gold. I had to take it off because I wanted to cut that little Batman edging off of it. Just doesn't look good. And baby wipes are perfect for taking white glue off of black cardstock. And this cardstock is 85 pound that recollections from Michael's. I just love it. I'm used to working with the 110, but it's so thick. It's so thick. You don't need that. And if you get that 110 at Michael's, it is really, really thick. It's thicker than any paper pages, 8.5 by 11, that you are going to get at Michael's. The black I'm talking about, super, super thick. It's as thick as my 140 white that I buy at my stationery store. So here we go. We're going to slide it into the corner thingy dingies, and yeah, they're so cute, aren't they? Except for they have those Batman edges that I don't like them showing, so I just cut it off even. Make sure you cut it off even, right? You need the back to put glue on. There you go. Yes, I'm probably putting on my Jungle Book thing I was watching, and so there you go. I'm just showing the gold. Now I'm starting the back. This is the back, and when I bend it down, you're going to see why I needed this exact shape, because I had something on my mat that got onto my white. You know the trouble I have with working with white. And I went to slide this album over, and I had a little bit of a pencil lead on the mat that went onto the actual satin. So, there's enough glue from my glue gun that that's never going to come off. And it is off one of the wedding dresses that I get and cut all the applique off, because that way you're going to save bundles and oodles of money buying an old wedding dress and cutting all the applique off and putting it in your stash. That's what I do, and it sure does come in handy. So here we go. I keep going up to my mouse thingy there. So maybe I'm talking to somebody. I can't remember whether I'm FaceTiming a friend or watching a movie or whatever, So here we go. I'm just going around it with the hot glue. Oh yeah, isn't that pretty? And when I have a few hours, I take out a wedding dress. I bag them in, those great big zipper lock bags you get bedding. You get the comforters out of. Well, they're perfect for storing wedding gowns. And then, when I have a couple hours, I start cutting off the applique, and I separate it in Ziploc bags by design, and then I can get it out. And see those roses there? I have about 100 of those roses like that off of a wedding train, the back of this huge honking train of a bridal gown. And they have 6 leaves, then it goes to 5 leaves, 4, 3, and 2. So I decided to use one with 4 and then the rose, and they're all beaded. Absolutely beautiful. And I remember getting this gown for $25, and I know I got at least 100 of these roses on just the train alone. So that's why I enjoy doing work with material and laces and appliques and beauteousness. It's so nice to work with. And then you get to use your beautiful paper on the inside, which makes it a double blessing, right? I like the way that applique or lace trim, we'll call it, sometimes works out perfectly, where you start at one edge that is the same when you end it. Doesn't happen that often, but it seemed to work with this album. It's just a lot of pretty. And then I had another round beaded one, which had different sizes of round beads. I'm trying to get you to see it. And I wanted to cover the cut in this Hobby Lobby gathered satin lace trim that I bought at Hobby Lobby. I wanted to cover the cut. So what is not, what's better to cover it than with beautiful beadwork, right? Just perfect. I just find it so pretty. You just go around and then add some liquid glue underneath all the beads. I went around all the beads one evening and went underneath with the fine applicator of my art glitter glue, so not one of these beads would fall off. None of the pearls, none of the anything on here, all has glue underneath. Just a little dab, because that would be horrible, you know, for a bride to get this and then the beadwork starts falling off. Oh, I can't even imagine it. So here we go. I'm just covering the little pointed edges that didn't get, you know, it wasn't just a perfect fit when I went to pull on it. And so I just cover it with more trim, and it just adds the prettiness of all the other lace that's going on there. So let's move ahead. I think I'm taking the back off of my waterfall card. I know I use liquid glue as well, the art glitter glue going around, just to give it some extra sticky. And I noticed this is a Heartfelt Creation album, 6x6, and you have, I think it's ½ an inch in between the pages, I'm pretty sure. And so you know that you can have thick on the right and thin on the left page, right? That's just the way I did it. Anything that I had extra bulk went on the right side, and then I'm just showing you the waterfall in it. And I keep going back and testing it, that it's not going to pop open. It's going to be so thick that it's not going to close properly. And that's important, I find, too. And I'm really gaining a lot of experience working with albums. And you know, if you haven't done many albums, it will be a tad challenging at first. But as you create and as you make your mistakes and as you correct your mistakes, you will learn from it and be able to be quicker at the next album you make, you know. So here's that one piece. I have to fold this over. That's the thing. So when I fold it over, yeah, this is coming out. That bow's way too thick. Rip, rip. Ooh, yeah. I'm used to this. I don't even panic anymore. It's just rip her out. I'll put the white side here. But you know what? I had to get an acetate piece, and I had to make myself a some binding, you know, with a gusset clear so you didn't see it, because I'm going on acetate to acetate, so you don't see the fold that I'm going to put on it too, so that it goes back and forth, back and forth. And acetate is the best for that. It really is. Thick or thin, it works well. I like the page protectors, but that's my choice that that I like using. And so now I'm going to make it. I'm going to, it's going to be thin. It probably is, I'm trying to think here. No, it's less than that. I didn't end up having to do a thick folder thingy. Isn't that something? I can't remember exactly what you call that thing that you put on the end so that you can fold it back and forth. But it'll come to me, I am sure. It does eventually before the video is over. So, and plus I want to have a small gusset in it. So you'll see, I'll be able to tell you more as I put it down. So I think I am, get over there, Carol, grab what you need. Okay, so I'm going to score it at the second line. Go over 2, score it again. Go over 1, 2, score it again. And then fold it. You're going to need, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I needed 5 lines scored. And then fold it over. There it is there. And I'm going to seat that page right inside this little gusset. And, excuse me. Oh, I tell ya, at least it wasn't tape or glue. Yeah, and then we're just going to put it on. I'm going to put double-sided tape and liquid glue on each side. And I'm telling you, it worked wonderfully. I was so glad that I did it in acetate. You can do it in page, with paper as well, I'm sure. But it worked for me. I put double-sided tape on each side. I have the small little, I think it was like an eighth of an inch, an eighth of an inch on each side. I wanted it nice and thin. And you can see I don't have much to work with there because those roses that you're looking at, they're see-through. They're a shaker on one side, a shaker on the other side, but it's clear. I made it clear. And now for the designing of the front. I want to get the front done. And just to let you know, I didn't put anything on the center. I'll show you that in just a second. So here I grabbed, you know where I tore off the bow? I put some applique and covered up that ripped paper so you couldn't see it. Then from the die cuts, I added 2 black beautiful lace die cut trims. And they're different. They're not the same pattern. And then I glued down this little bride and groom. And I think that's so cute, that little die. And yeah, I put some diamond bling down each side of the die cut that I put down on the top and the bottom. No, get rid of those rings. But I will use those rings later on. Oh yes, because one of the sentiments says with this ring. So I put a ring there. And I ended up putting that envelope, and I had that diamond bead bling. I got it at Michael's at some time over the last year. And I had it in my stash, so I thought it'll be for bridal pictures. And in that envelope, those envelopes are from Michael's as well, and they have a pattern of lace. It's beautiful. And then I put the tiniest little magnet behind the fold of the envelope so that it would stay closed when the pictures were in there. Then I added my nice pink die cut here, and you're going to be able to slide some pictures under there, as you can see. And when you have everything ready, and oh, here's my belly band. Remember I did that in a video. I showed you how I created that. It has a 1/4 inch lift on it, so you can put quite a bit under that. And we're going to seat that, but I need to make another piece of black cardstock, right? I'm going to put the belly band over top of the same size piece of cardstock, the 6x6, I think it is there, 5 3/4 by 5. I don't know what it ended up being, but you can see I have my pull-out tabs in each page that folds over. Each page has a tab for a 5.5 by 6 inch, I think, picture in the front and back, and you'll see that later on as we go. But I did have to cover this because the belly band had double-sided tape on a 1/2 inch of it, top and bottom, and magnets to close it. So yes, just there's the belly band. It comes apart. The heart has magnets behind it. It has a beautiful cameo, really nice filigree paper. And now I'll just make sure that each side is absolutely even before I put this down. And the tape is already on there. I took care of that before the tutorial. I tried to make the tutorial not as long, but I thought you would enjoy seeing some of the work that isn't in the other 3 videos that when I started this project. So whatever I created on the finishing end of it, it went on to this tutorial. So once we have the measurements on each side, I'll seat this on this separate cut that I did of black cardstock, and then we'll put it down, but not before I add some beautiful die cuts to the top and bottom. That way the pictures wouldn't fall out from underneath this belly band. You could tuck it down into the beautiful die cuts. Yeah, and then I put a bow there just for pretty. And now we're going to put some double-sided tape from this Suquang roll. And yeah, I don't think it's ever going to come up because I put liquid too as well. Liquid too as well. Liquid as well too. Yeah, whatever way you want to say it. I have a lot of leftover little pieces, parts that I end up putting in all of the tabs and all of the parts that are, you know, that have places you can tuck, all the tuck spots. That's the word there, Carol, tuck spots. then you can see that I actually make sure every piece of that. I even put something down here because it didn't quite go to the edge. There you go. And then I thought it just looked too naked, so I grabbed, yeah, 2 of those die cuts, and they're beautiful tuck spots die cuts. I think they're Heartfelt Creations. And yes, so it's starting to really work out. I had a lot of fun putting it all together, although it did take time. Thank you so much. I know I get some wonderful comments that when I don't have things up on YouTube, thank you so much, kind of worried about me. And, you know, I probably work slower than the average bear, but I do my best, and trying to get things up in a timely fashion for you. And I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate my new subscribers, my subscribers. And, you know, I don't like calling you subscribers because you become my friends. You really do. Everybody that joins and comments, I try to get to know you personally because you are inviting me into your craft space, into your living room. And I certainly consider you to be friends. So if I say subscriber, it's just, you know, I guess that's what YouTube calls it. Here I'm calls you, excuse me. So here I'm going to put some pearls down the design here. And I always like to put 2 different designs, one on top, one on bottom, not the same ones. And then I thought it would look nice. You could put ribbon in between the design. And I put some teensy weensy mini pearls on each one of the fan marks. They have a little dot, so I added the minis, and then I added these beautiful diamond raindrops that I get at Michael's. You probably recognize the name there. And yeah, and the bling is from Michael's too, you know. I think we all have that in our stash, don't we? So here we go. I am just going to add more bling. Why not? Yeah, wedding albums to me are just, they're just so glamorous to create. It just, I don't know. It's just like creating a wedding dress, I guess. You get so much satisfaction out of it. And yeah, so here we go. And we'll do this is going to go, I think, on this side. Remember, the left side is, you want it more flush to the page, things that you're going to put in. I mean, you can do each way. I'm sure you can. But it worked out for me that I kept the right side for more of the book. And yeah. And then I did all the tabs. Yes, I have all of them in their little housing units for pictures. And there's probably a name for that too that I can't think of. And there you have it. Isn't that pretty? And then you put the belly band and it magnetizes really secure. I put some nice magnets behind there and close it up. And it's just pretty to me. Yes. There we go. We're going to go back, and then I probably go through the entire book after I get the front created. I have the ribbon there to tie if you want to put something on the front to hold down, and I actually do. So I'm going to show you how I created that. Here I'm a little bit of the glue I wanted to get off the filigree, and yes, I'm really happy with this wedding album. And there's my teapot, there's the back, just so pretty. I have to create there. I end up using beautiful filigree pearls. I think it's pearls I use because I didn't want it to be thick. There it is. Is that pearls or diamonds? It's pearls. So I just designed all kinds of stuff, you know, with that filigree stuff you get at Michael's, and went to town, left the inside a little open so you could add a photo to it. And I'm just having a blast. I just loved every second of it. I truly did, even though it took me a long time, probably longer than those that are experienced in album creating. But, you know, you have to take as long as it takes, right? You can't rush a project like that, yes. And the teapot, I drew all the roses and I painted all the roses. So that's not from a stamp. I took the time to draw them because I love to draw. I did the tiny roses on the teacup, and I did on acetate, I used the alcohol ink so it looked like real tea that was inside the teacup. And I made my own little tea bag out of gold, you know, that little gold stuff, that stuff you get. Oh, well, I can't remember any of this stuff. But anyway, I made my own tea bag and I stapled it there to the side. And I'm super duper happy with the way it turned out. Now I'm just going to finish the sides of this bling bling and I'm going to move to the front of the album. Now I had these in my stash, these closures. They're actually, I don't know what that one was, but the other one is a sweater closure that I had in my jewelry box that you, goes on like a brooch, and you attach one to one side of your sweater and one to the other side. And I thought, but you know, the pinchy ones would have been nice to add a rose on top of the pinchy, but I really didn't like that chain. It's kind of like it reminded me of a toilet chain. I just couldn't do it. Yes. So, yeah, I got rid of that. I had to unwind this. It kind of got tied in a knot. And then the gold chain did not go with it. Now the pearls did, but the gold did not. It harshened up the look of the actual album. I didn't like that. Now, and I was really worried about cutting into the satin with having to put, you know, I could have, let me just rephrase this. I could have taken the back clasp off. Yes, I could have done that. You know, the fastener part, I could have just cut it off with my jewelry tools, of course. But this, I love the look of this blow. This blow. No, it's Carol, it's a bow. Yeah. Oh dear. Yes. I don't know if I was thinking like of a blowfish. I have no idea. Actually, I'm watching the snow blowing all outside my window, so let's go with that. So I thought of these super duper magnets. I put a magnet inside the bow with E6000, and I had to take the black paper off, yes. It didn't come off that easy. I ended up having to take my time with my pokey tool to get it off, but it did. See, it's kind of got some dirty there and some wet from wetting it down to get it off, but it's going to all be covered. Yes, everything is coverable. We can cover it. And there comes the applique out. Ooh, yeah. And I just covered all with the leaves here. And it's, you know, it really does amaze me that when you get this applique out and you start adding it, the design of it to your project, how it just fits like it was made for there, you know? And you can cut into all, you know, all different appliques and they tend to go together. It's just wonderful. I love watching it all come together. It's so pleasing, you know. Even if you're not well and you're wondering if it's going to all come together, it will. It will. Carol, get your arm out of there. I don't know what you're doing. I'm probably looking over a bunch of emails that came through. That's the only thing I can think of. But here we go. So I covered around the bow with pearls, and I really liked this delicate applique off of a wedding dress. And yeah, and I like using Ziploc, the large freezer Ziploc bags to put my applique in because you can see into it for one thing and know what you've cut out of your wedding gowns if that's the route you take. And that's the route I take. I love the beading on here, like the like oval. Yeah, I stuck it to that table lace tablecloth thing I got going on there on top. I didn't want anything that's on the table. If anything dripped or got down there, it's going to go down through those holes and it's not going to go on my project. That was my theory here. It worked pretty good. So now I'm going to add it, and this is to the back portion. I think I did not do too much on the front. I'm just going to reel over and see here. No, I didn't do any. Just around the bow. Not the blow, with the bow. Went around the bow. And yes, it worked out nicely. I like it. I like it that it's different. It gives it that eclectic look, you know, that everything is not the same. So, you know, it's like the old saying. It's so old I can't remember it. Everything different is not the same. Goes something like that. Yeah. So, you know, it's harder in my age now to remember all these things. They say you have to tell 10 people before it sticks in your brain. You know, like if you want to say a joke, I can never get the jokes. They're so messed up by the time I'm done. It would have been better. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't even talk. I'm doing a voiceover where I should be able to talk. Look how pretty that looks. And it closes it perfectly. But I have to tell you, I magnetized the left side, the front, not the back. The back I got out some pearl pins. And I am going to put the pins through the applique, not the silk, through the applique. Let me say that a billion times, because it won't tear in the beading because there's hot glue underneath it. So I end up stabbing through the hot glue and up and holding the underneath back side of this bow. And then this super sticky or magnetic magnet worked perfect for the front, because I'm going to hide that with some lace. And I'll show you what I do with it later. I don't want to kind of ruin that, but isn't that bow pretty? And it serves two purposes, and we'll see later on in the tutorial. It's not much longer. Yes, I'm not going on and on. It's not much longer. And it'll use a double purpose. So there we go. I just covered it there. It is very, very magnetized. Now, I have a video going up, and I will tell you the name of it here if you're going to look for it. It is, can YouTube can either make you or break you. And that's the title. I may change it before then. But I want to share some experience over the last 6 years of being on YouTube with you. Positive, of course, positive reinforcement on not being discouraged when you put YouTube videos out. And some things that I have learned. And one of the things, I posted this album. And on there, I had stated some sales that I got over on Wish for magnets. Now, I'm a firm believer of buying American or Canadian. You know that. I spend thousands of dollars on stamps and dies, and from our local companies to support them. Always have, I always will. But I did not think it wrong when I put up, here I'm looking for some nice pins that I could put through. Which ones? With the diamond ends or the pearl ends? I thought nothing, make sure you put those little plastic things on the end so nobody stabs themselves. And that box of pearls from Michael's. Now, so anyway, I left links on my album to get 100 super magnetized, super thin magnets from over on Wish. I never thought nothing of it. Because I don't shop on these channels. But when I saw it, I thought, boy, you know, those people that make albums will probably really appreciate the deal that you get on getting these if you don't already get them yourself. And I just had a little, I was questioned on it of not supporting. Now, I'm trying to think of the magnets I do buy at the stores. You know, I think they come in a pack of 24 or something like that. Super, super magnets. But anyway, I think that, and what I wanted to say about this when I put this down is I could have gotten discouraged because my views went down, and I was really bewildered at whether it was because of this link to Wish, because it was not American and Canadian, you know, where we are. But when I posted it, there was no ill intention of it. I wasn't telling you to shop there. I was not promoting to shop there. But nonetheless, I did put it on there, and I am just praying that that isn't the reason that my views, you know, probably because my videos are super long. I understand that. But I have a video going up. I have been working on it now for a few weeks of just explaining the process of YouTube as I see it. And I have a video out that says, "You wasted 29 minutes of my life." I put that up when I first began YouTube. Now, if I was to take heed to what was said on my comment there, how I wasted somebody's 29 minutes, that's when I used to think 29-minute tutorials were super long. And I'm not on a rampage. I am not at all. You know me better than that. I'm not. It just really directed me to do a video. There's with this ring. I put the diamond ring there. To encourage those that are putting up YouTube tutorials not to get discouraged, how not to get discouraged, and the things to look for when you're placing YouTube videos up. You know, it is a long process. I am so super blessed by the wonderful friends that have joined my channel. I really am. I am nearing 20,000 subscriber friends. To me, that is amazing. Do you see how I put that lace over top of the die cut there? And so anyway, I want you to look for that tutorial. I think it'll be encouraging. I think it will help those that are beginning to create on YouTube and to be excited about it. Every time I put a video tutorial up, I'm just showing you how a picture goes in there. I am excited about it. I love sharing. I love, you know, if somebody is inspired by my work. I know I'm inspired by all the wonderful, talented people out there. Here you go. I'm just showing you this page. We must be coming close to the end. The way that this little half flip page flips out and how it has the pearl pocket there, right there. Yeah, I'm going to show you right down there. That's a tag, but there's the pearl pocket. I tried to be a little, you know, step out of the box creative for you. And then I have another little picture page underneath that flower. This is a Heartfelt Creation die there. The one that I tucked it in is Heartfelt Creation. The love is from LDRS Creative. This slides out. You get another spot, tuck spot. This is a clear see-through shaker with the roses. I tried to match them up with the paper, with my dies, and those dies I think are from My Favorite Things. Yeah, I'll have to find all the links for them for you. And I am not speaking. When I talk about the views and things, obviously I'm not speaking with those that view my tutorials. No, of course not. There's the pages, pink on one side, and then I take them out. Let me just say this too, and I add a little baby powder to each side of the acetate. And then I made some little shaker little packets. I thought they were really cute to have gold and silver shakers. I put a teensy weensy magnet there, my friends, so teensy you can hardly see it. And talk about the magnets. I just wanted to mention that because if, you know, I always think if that's what it takes for people to not view your work, you know, for you to just try and encourage somebody, and you mentioned something like that, and then, you know, to see my views go down. I was really praying that that wasn't the cause of it, because I shared with you a place to get inexpensive magnets, not inexpensive dies, not inexpensive stamps or product, just the magnets. For because you use a lot of these when you make albums, trust you me. And yeah, so anyway, I use the other magnets that I have bought at my craft stores over time. Of course I do. But when I found that, I just wanted to share. And there's the magnet I put on these. You get these envelopes at Michael's. And they have an accordion fold on each edge so that it folds out. And you get, I think, 10 of them, 10 different sizes in a package at Michael's. And I made this tag so you could put a picture on the back. I slid it down there, yes, with the magnet under my diamond bling. And I think this is my favorite pullout here. I just adore this. It's magnetized by the bow pearl bling, and it opens up and you have a tuck spot in every one of the pages here. I love this. Yeah, I'm showing you that. Boink, boink, it magnetizes. This is what I'm talking about. You use a ton of magnets. And so, oh, I thought I was going to show you how, I may be trying to get a nice angle on it for you. And I use the silver beautiful foiled flowers there are from a bridal set that I got at my stationery store. That was like $5 for the whole box full of this delicious stationery paper. And yeah, and I used tuck spots. You have all these tuck spots. I did put paper, I lined every page with beautiful pink paper flowers on each one of these tuck spots. I raised them too high. That was a reminder for me. I put some little quotes, you know, laughter and things you need in a marriage. And this is a wedding album, and laughter and humor. And I don't mean by making fun of each other. Yeah, my husband and I have been married 45 years, and we dated 5 years before we were married. So I have 50 years behind me that I'm talking here. And laughter is a good thing, to be able to laugh at each other, not to take things so seriously. You know, over time, those serious things, they're just not worth your time to get upset over certain things, you know. I always remember somebody said, probably a friend, said to make sure you pick your battles. How true is that? It's biblical, and it's true. You know, you don't want to learning. Let's not get into that. Sorry. This isn't a marriage counseling course I'm going to give on the side. No. I just wanted to let you know that some of the little things that I put out there. Here's some more little tuck things I created to go inside these places. I'm so excited that you joined me. I really care for each one of you that subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed, that's okay too. If you view my tutorials now and again, that to me is a super duper blessing. And it just motivates me to want to do more. And I enjoy YouTube, and I enjoy learning the ins and outs of YouTube. It's a long process, so don't let it get you down when you're beginning this journey. Just take it in stride and have a good time. And if it starts not becoming a good time and fun for you, I think you're in the wrong area to be, because it is going to be frustrating. You are going to have to learn a lot of things, you know, especially editing and doing voiceovers. It's a new adventure for me. Well, I've been doing it for a while now, because it's easier than me talking and having to be equipped with all of these things that I use. This way I can get up and get the things I know I'm going to edit it out, and I'm going to do my best to make it inspiring, and I always try to answer all my comments. You know that I really do. I love meeting you. And yeah, I hope it didn't discourage you saying that about the magnets. I just saw somebody posted something, and then somebody brought it to my attention. And so I thought, well, you know what? I'll just do a little tutorial and share my heart with you and a little bit of my brains with you. Just a little bit on what I've learned. And there's the bow. I put this magnet there to hold the bow when it's not tied down. So there's the magnet portion. Then you pull it over. It's really magnetized, let me tell you. And there, you just store it like that in the box I'm making. And remember, I made that bridal gown? I have a full bridal gown that I created, and I was going to put it here on the front. I'm trying to decide if I should do this too. No, get it off there, Carol. I don't need a pin there. The magnet holds it down. The magnet is strong enough. Now, I'm just probably showing you that you can do this. I store the pins this way on the bow so I don't lose them. And then you flatten it out, and then you tape it down to your applique. Make sure there's applique behind there, because you do not want to tear that beautiful satin, that silk. You don't want to tear it. Yeah, I'm getting it out of there. So if you put it in, put it through the actual lace work, not through that beautiful satin. That's just my thought on that. And thank you. You know, I love to share with you my thoughts on things. I think if you watch my tutorials, you want to get to know me if you're new. And I take constructive criticism very well, I think. I want to grow and learn. But I don't think criticism should be posted or in the comments section if it's to be hurtful. And people are trying. If you're on YouTube, it's work, my friends. It is. Editing takes hours, especially these type of long tutorials. I like to get them all down in one. And voiceovers take time. And I love it. I'm not complaining one bit. I love it. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't love it. So there you have it. You get to store it right there. Put your pins through the applique on your bow. You find a lot of these bows on wedding gowns if you're looking for them at secondhand stores like I do. You will see the bows. And on gowns, oh, there, yes. No, I didn't poke myself. I'm looking for the hole to put it through. So the magnet is underneath the flower, and then you can tie down the this if you want to keep any memorabilia inside there. I'm just showing you with this little die cut. I'm going to keep that there actually, and then you tie it in a bow, and I'm super duper excited. And even when I share this video that's going up with you, I'm going to be sharing it with open mind and a sincere heart of wanting to help you. There we go. We're just going to do a quick go through with this, a show through, I should call it, right? Thank you so much to everybody that has taken the time to watch this tutorial. I know it's, a long time. An hour. And yeah, I'm taking all the stuff out. I'm cleaning out all the little gutters there, my gussets. And I left the back spine clear. I have my beautiful pillow that I created for the rings on the front. I thought the pillow with the roses, here's my wedding gown that matches everything that I made. I am putting this on the box that is going to house this album. I'm going to put satin on the box to look identical to the album, and that's what you're going to house this in. I haven't got it finished yet, but I will have it up soon. There it is there. You get these at Michael's. I wait for the 80% off sale. That's when I got some of these. I will put satin on them. It will look really wedding-ish. There. And that's all you have to do. Just elegant sounds a little better, right? Elegant. It's going to look elegant. And I will seat the album inside. This wedding gown will go right there on top of the satin, depending on how I decorate it, whether it'll go straight on like that or whether it will go sideways. So anywho, thank you so much for joining me, my friends. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your comments, and of course for giving me a thumbs up. That does help my channel. So here you have it. I am thrilled with the actual creation of it, and I hope you are too. I hope you were inspired in some way, and I look forward to sharing the housing unit for this. Yes, there you have it. And I was just closing down the lights, and I thought, oh, this looks so pretty with just a soft light, doesn't it? Oh, it's so nice. I just love it. Okay, my friends, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Have a blessed week. Bye now.